Hello, and welcome back to Basement Kid. Today, I'm not just going to be reviewing one movie. I'm not going to be reviewing two movies. I'm going to be reviewing 3 whole movies, yes. And I didn't make individual videos about them, because didn't really want to. So, I'm going to make a combined video about them. Starting with our first movie I'm going to be talking about tonight. Unpregnant. This movie was an HBO Max original. It was directed by Rachel Lee Goldenberg, and it's starring Haley Lou Richardson and Barbie Fiera. And this movie, it was okay. So if you don't know, the whole movie is about this girl trying to go and get an abortion, and she has to go to New Mexico or something because she needs abortion. And before I say anything about this movie and then you get all mad at me or something because, oh, you just don't support the message of this movie, that's why you're being mean to it. No, I do support the message of this movie. But all I'm trying to say is that although I do support the message of this movie, I think the way they showed it in this movie is not necessarily the best. I feel like it's an overly forced message and in your face all the time. So, although I do support this message, I think it got overwhelming in how much they tried to force it into your face all the time. And I'll show you what I mean. Okay, and the first half of the movie I actually really enjoyed. I thought it was a fun buddy duo. I mean, you got the straight character and the comedic character. It was, good. And that was the first act. It set up the movie and the adventure that they were going on. I was like, okay, I'm excited to see this payoff, the second act, and the third act and everything. I'm excited. Sadly, it kind of went downhill. So, this is kind of spoilery, so if you really want to watch this movie, leave. Okay. So, in the part of this movie, they're at this festival, and they need to get to New Mexico. They have this person that's going to drive them already, but then there's this family that seemed kind of sketch already, but they're like, oh, we'll drive you, and they're like, okay, sure, I'm going to go with this weird sketch family. So, they go with this weird sketch family, they hop in their truck, and then they fall asleep in a stranger's car. Don't fall asleep in a stranger's car. First off, don't do that. But anyway, so they wake up at this house. It's set up to be like an eerie, weird house in the middle of nowhere. Right off the bat, I'm like, oh, this is Blythe family. And they're gonna be like, don't get abortion. And they'll be like, no, and then they'll leave. And I was like, okay, that's what I was expecting. That's what happened, but it happened the most ridiculous way possible. The absolutely most ridiculous way. What happened is, so they're eating breakfast, and one of the characters, I don't remember what they were gonna do. They left, the side character left to go potty or something. I don't remember. Anyway, she goes into this little nook, this little room, and guess what? There's it's basically a pro-life shrine. They have a pro-life shrine. They're gonna sacrifice somebody to the pro-life god or something. And I'm like, hold up. This is not how it works, bro. I don't know if you're trying to be serious or not. I thought you were. Now you kind of just are being a little goofy, being a little silly, being a little, zany, wacky. And it's not really paying off for me, because you're not really setting it up like it's supposed to be zany, wacky. You're setting it up like, oh, spooky pro-life people. They steal their truck, they drive away. And I'm like, okay, they're gonna drive away, and something else is gonna happen. Nope, that's not what happens. They drive away, and I thought maybe they're gonna get, followed or something, or someone, they're gonna try to run after them. No, they have a giant bus. A giant, literal, tour bus or something, that has a giant picture of a baby on it. The pro-life family does. And I'm like, okay, God, do you understand what you're doing here? Do you understand? I know you're trying to make this seem comedic. It's clear as day here. But you just went from having fun, sort of comedic, fun film, buddy film, to be oh, look how terrible these people are, but also, haha, funny, but oh, look at this, they have big giant baby bus. Oh, how crazy. Like, okay, yes, we get your point. You don't like pro-life people. So that might be the most ridiculous part of the movie. But that's not my least favorite part. So later, they're on this train track, like, this is like the next scene, and literally, like, the main character yells at this guy. They're not trying to make this a subtle conversation to explain how this character's feeling. They're not trying to subtly explain it. She literally yells directly at the sky. And then the end of the movie, it's pretty much just an ad for abortion. Like, I know the rest of the movie is trying to be like pro-choice. Like, it's your choice, bro. Your choice. I mean, yes, it is your choice. That is clear. They had this long, drawn-out scene. This person explaining how abortion works. Like, step 1. This is how abortion works. Welcome to my abortion tutorial. Like, this is a movie. I'm not watching a YouTube video on how abortion works. I really don't care. I wanted to watch fun, zany adventure. I didn't want to watch This Is How Abortion Works, the movie. Okay, spoiler talk's over now. So anyway, yeah, so I thought this was kind of like good message, good movie. I liked the parts about the friendship, the budding friendship between characters. I didn't like the parts where they were shoving abortion in face. That was not necessary. I probably would have gave this movie like a 3 out of 5. They weren't trying to be like, oh, I'm just gonna shove this message in your face because I'm the movie and you know the message, here it is. Because that's not what they're doing. They are clearly shoving it in your face. I'm giving this one a 2.5 out of 5. Okay, I'm sorry I had so much to say about that movie. I promised that was the only one I had that much to say about. So, next movie I saw was Enola Holmes, starring Millie Bobby Brown. So, Enola Holmes is about Millie Bobby Brown, who is Sherlock Holmes' sister.
Like my brothers, Mycroft and Sherlock.
It's basically a fun adventure fish out of water story. And this movie was good. I mean, pretty good. It was pretty by the books, I would say. This character, fish out of water character, doesn't conform to normal rules of society, is out in the big world now, and she's trying to be forced to do something she doesn't want to do, and now she has to go on a big adventure. Pretty fun. Threw a mystery element in there, since indeed it is technically a Sherlock Holmes movie, I guess. Henry Cavill as Sherlock Holmes wasn't the best Sherlock Holmes ever. But he certainly wasn't the focus of the film. Bobby Brown, I think, was really good in the movie. Really did a good job. It doesn't have a traditional narrator or anything. In parts, it's kind of just Millie Bobby Brown talking directly to the audience, like, oh, hi, hello audience, this is what I'll be doing, okay, now I'm going to do it. I mean, that was kind of fun, kind of zany, kind of wacky, goofy goober. The main mystery is like, oh, I have to find my mom. But it kind of distracts from that, and she just stops that and does something else for the rest of the movie. And clearly they're trying to set up a sequel, like, oh, I'm gonna set up a sequel now I have to go find my mom. We just did this movie, now I have to go find my mom. So overall, this movie wasn't like the best movie ever created for everyone, but it's fun family, zany, wacky adventure. If you want to watch a fun, zany, wacky adventure movie with your family, pretty fun, pretty harmless. And I'm giving this one a 3 out of 5. The final movie I've talked about is the most recent one, and also the most star-studded one on this list. Not to say Enola Holmes wasn't, but this one has the most star-studded cast of all. This is The Devil All the Time. This is a Netflix movie. It is on Netflix, and so this movie has Tom Holland, Bill Skarsgård, and Robert Pattinson. So yeah, pretty star-studded overall. And, you know, this movie is depressing. It's trying to be depressing. That's the main thing in this movie. It's just, like, terrible thing after terrible thing after terrible thing. But yeah, this whole movie is kind of just about, like, terrible people doing terrible things. Like, there is, like a weird father, crazy father guy. There's a weird pastor man. There's a crazy, like, murder, like, pickup hitchhiker couple or something. So it's kind of just like crazy, no good, terrible people doing terrible things. The whole movie kind of deals with different characters. It flips back and forth, and they all kind of converge towards the end. And it was a good movie. I mean, I really enjoyed it, but I mean, don't try to watch this movie thinking this isn't what you think it's gonna be, because if you think, ooh, fun movie, it has Tom Holland, Bill Skarsgård, and Robert Pattinson, all my favorite actors, I'm so excited. Don't be like that, because if you are, then you're like, oh, I'm depressed now. But if you are in the mood to watch a movie like this was pretty good. I did have a gripe about the beginning, kinda. The beginning, I feel like it focused too hard on the, like, origins of these characters. Like, the first, like, 30 or so minutes were just kind of just focusing on, like, 2 separate characters, and then we get into, like, the third major, like, thread we're trying to focus on. And also, the beginning part, it kind of, like, flips back and forth a lot, so you have to keep track, like, time-wise, but it does tell you, kind of. It says, like, oh, 7 years earlier, 7 years later, stuff like that. Also, there is a narrator in this movie, who is the writer, by the way, of the book. This is based on a book. The writer of the book is the narrator in this movie. Fun fact. Anyway, a lot of people are like, oh, why do you need the narrator? I actually kind of like it. It reminds me of, like, Charlotte's Web or something. Just, like, family-friendly narrator book or something. It's not that movie, but it reminds me of that. And I kind of like that. I like this more than a lot of people are. I kind of enjoyed this one, but if you're not into, like, depressing stories, don't watch this. Like, just don't. And I'll give this one a 4 out of 5. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you would like to, and watch the videos that are also on my channel, because I do make other videos too. They're pretty cool also, I have to say. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all the jazzy jazz, link in the description if you would like to. And okay, yeah, bye.